So with that being said, do you think when all this blows over, I know back in 2019, you said you were going to focus on boxing. Because of that, is it more likely that you're going to reconsider the MMA route again?
Well, I'm just like, here's the thing, and like I'm a realist. I was never that good at MMA. I'm good at fighting. I'm not good at jujitsu. Not really that great at kickboxing. I'm okay at kickboxing, right? So for me, taking an MMA fight was kind of like I want to take something that people want to see that's gonna make sense because I'm not afraid to do it. There's no, it's like I got a chance every time I go in there. I got better hands than anybody in the cage. It's just a matter of can I make it work, right? So for me to go back to MMA, I'd really want the people to say, we want to see you back. So we want to see you. There was some press going on before all this happens with Rowdy Beck. You know that girl who did
Yeah,
bare-knuckle boxing?
Rawlings, bare knuckle,
And
yeah.
she fought at Dublin, and she's like, yo, I want to fight Heather Hardy. And I was like, yes, work. Tell him again.
Work.
I want to do it. I want to do it. Say it again. And it got like a lot of buzz. People were like, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. And then 2020 was like, no, bitch. Nope. Nope. Not in March. You won't. So I kind of put everything at a halt. And like I said, now all these contracted fights are being pushed back. So Bellator is like, I'm not even a whisper right now. But I'm hopeful that maybe, you know, she can we could get together and get some buzz so I could get some work before the year's out, pay off my rent.
Obviously, then that is a fight you are interested in. Would you want it to be an MMA fight, or would you want it to be like a bare knuckle fight?
I mean, I'd love to do a bare knuckle fight because I like my odds way better there. I think that Beck has a lot more experience, a lot more finesse, a lot more knowledge of what to do in the cage. But yo, I still like 2-2, not so good, not so bad, but I still wouldn't want to fight me. I could fight.
No, you can't. And what we've seen in MMA, like the record's not so much important for the fans in that fan base as opposed to you coming out there and actually fighting. With that being said, when you look at like the 4 fights you had, like why do you feel like things didn't work out in your opinion?
It's a lot of different things. Like, okay, like my first fight worked out because the girl fought my fight, right? She stood in the pocket, she banged with me. We put on a great fan-friendly fight. Second fight, I underestimated what the girl could do. Christina came out and kicked my face literally
Who's
off my butt.
the Taekwondo fighter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was like we were in the locker room and one of my coaches was like, "Oh shit, you know she's a black belt in Taekwondo," and I was like, I didn't want to hear that,
Yeah,
right?
not a good
And
thing
then
to tell your fighter.
right,
Someone
I
else.
was like, what did you say? And they were like, oh no, you know. So like I got my face kicked off, but I was in there, I was fighting. Like if anything, that was a great fight for me because it proved to everybody how tough I am. I didn't even gotta say it no more. People is like, that bitch is tough. And then my third fight against Anna had more experience than me as a boxer and as a mixed martial artist. And everybody hated it because it was boring and we were doing jujitsu. But I knew she was going to come at me with the bullshit. And I learned to do what I had to do to get the win. I was so proud of that fight. Nobody liked it, but I was so proud of that fight. And I'll be honest, like, I'm not one to make excuses, but I wasn't in a good spot my last fight. And people hate to hear that because they say, you're an athlete, you're a professional, you need to not make excuses. And that's not an excuse, that's a real thing. Sometimes just your mind, your body, you're just not in the right place. And it was very out of body for me, my last MMA fight. Like, I remember standing at the cage, like the bell rang, and I'm looking at this girl, and like something in my head, as I'm walking towards her, was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I really would love another chance with Bellator just to kind of redeem that last one because that was my least favorite.
So you're open to the MMA fights. Obviously, before this had happened, did you have a date already set to return? Because I know you last fought Amanda back in September.
Yeah, it took a couple months off. I was like, fuck boxing. I'm never fighting again. But then the itch comes over like it's like a bad boyfriend, man. You just always take him back home. And they offered me a fight with Jelena Maranovich for the WBC title, but the date was up in the air. So it was like, yes, we want the fight. We agreed on the money, but then the date kept getting pushed back. So that was never contracted because we never had a solid date on it. And then that was a possibility. And then, like I said, there was that talk with Bec. So it was like, wow, let's see if maybe Bellator has a show for me. And we had just missed the show that was going to happen in Connecticut at I know you know what I mean, but I can't say because I forget. The one like up there. And so my manager was like, all right, let's see where we can get you guys on, maybe back in Dublin, maybe in England. And then all this happened. So everything was like nothing.
In terms of like the Bec fight, did you reach out to Bellator and let them know that you were interested?
Yeah, I had my manager do it. Actually, as soon as the article came out and everyone started tweeting me in it, I started retweeting it with Bellator because everybody knows if I ignore you, you're not worth my fucking time. I don't talk to everybody, especially everybody wants to call me out. Everybody wants to fight everybody, you know? But I started to retweet it, and then they contacted my manager, and my manager was like, Heather said, show me the money, baby. Show me the money because I'm with it. And then, you know, it was a bad time. There just were no talks for it. But I would love to do like a bare-knuckle boxing in the cage kind of thing. That'd be tons of fun.
So you're all for it. It appears Bec is all for it. So then what would you think is, besides what's going on now, but you think naturally after this is done, that you think that the fight should happen, will happen?
I mean, if Bec wants it to happen, because let's be honest, she's a bit more relevant than I am right now. She just had her fight in Dublin. It's her first win with Bellator. She's kind of, the ball is rolling in her favor. If you look in terms of me, I fought twice in 2019. I lost both times. So I'm really not the one. I have a big fan base and they all want to see me fight, you know, but I'm not really the one who gets to go to the plate and say, I want to fight you, Bec, because then I just sound like a thirsty bitch, you know? She said she wanted to fight me, and I'm like, girl, let's do it.
Yeah, you crack me up, Heather.
I'm not lying, though. You know, I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm not out here trying to be something I'm not. The reality is she's more relevant than me. She gets to decide. If she's like, fuck you, I ain't fighting you. Okay, you're right. You're right. Okay.